WSAV is celebrating and honoring the accomplishments of African Americans throughout the month of February, Black History Month. Now, what some people may not realize, today is actually National Freedom Day as well, and we shared some of the events taking place earlier in this newscast. You know, National Freedom Day is all about celebrating our freedom from slavery. And joining me now to shine some knowledge on this day is Mr. Ahmad Ward. He's the Executive Director of Historic Mitchellville Freedom Park on Hilton Head. I want to first thank you, Ahmad, for coming over and joining us here today on First News at 4.
It's my pleasure. Thanks for having us.
You know, earlier in our newscast, we talked about some of the events that are happening for Black History Month, and a major event happened at Savannah State today. And what was phenomenal as I was listening to the story is the fact that Major Richard Robert Wright Sr.'s great-grandson was there. And Mr. Wright actually was once enslaved, and he fought for this very day. And actually, he fought for decades.
Absolutely. Of course, he was born into slavery around 1855, spent most of his life as an educator, but really wanted to find a key point to celebrate freedom for all people, specifically after slavery. Of course, choosing this date because this is the date that Lincoln signed the 13th Amendment for a joint resolution from the House and the Senate. He would spend the rest of his life, along with doing all these other things like founding a bank, founding a high school, obviously founding Savannah State University, to push for this to happen. Wrote letters to President Harry Truman, and eventually the year after he dies in 1947, 1948, Harry Truman signs this into law, and it's been observed in some form or fashion ever since.
Well, Ahmad, you know, with Historic Mitchellville Freedom Park, you do so much there to make sure that our history continues and that people from all walks of life are able to come out and share the story. We know that getting to this point in our history has not been easy. Has simply not been easy. It was difficult, actually, for our ancestors. Can you talk a little bit about why it's so important to continue shining a light on African American history?
Well, it's a story that has not been widely told for various reasons. History has not been put out there. It's a rich history that dates back well before enslavement. And so what we find, those who know better have to do better, right? And so we have the information, must share it with those who don't know. It is a rich fabric of the American story. And so what we want to be able to do at Mitchellville and other places is to share with people who don't know. I mean, Mitchellville was the first town of self-governing, formerly enslaved people in the United States. Most people don't know that. And so we're doing things there to make sure that we can get this story to folks and put it in a 21st century context.
All right, and we're showing some pictures and video from National Freedom Day celebrations in the past at Historic Mitchellville Freedom Park. And a big event is actually happening this weekend as well to continue the celebration. Share with us what people will see, what they can expect, and also what they will hear.
Absolutely. So we have been doing Freedom Day for almost 10 years now. And of course, we want to align ourselves with whatever the Black History Month theme is for the year. This year is African Americans in the Art. And so we are doing a cavalcade, for lack of a better term, of arts all across the spectrum there at the park. So there'll be visual artists that'll be there, there'll be spoken word. And our major event, our entertainers are Aunt Pearlie Sue and the Gullah Kinfolk, who have been celebrating Gullah culture and African American culture in this area for almost 30 years. They're going to be tremendous. This is a free event to the public, starts at 11 a.m., goes until 1. But there is a partnership with the Native Islander Business Community Affairs Association, otherwise known as NIPCA. They're doing the Gullah breakfast that morning at 8. There is a charge for that. That happens from 8 to 10, and people will be able to spill right over into our program. Starts at 11. This is all happening at Historic Mitchellville Freedom Park, and our event starts at 11. It is free to the public.
All right, Ahmad, I know there may be some young people watching right now. It's 4 o'clock. They're out of school. What do you want them to know about this weekend, and why should they consider, even with their parents, getting involved?
Well, I think this is an opportunity for, number one, to do something with the family. We want to make sure that all of our events are family friendly and people can come and hang out and learn. We like to call them edutainment events. We want you to have fun while you're there, but learn something. And not enough people know about what Freedom Day is And we've kind of taken it upon ourselves to wave this banner for this special holiday to make sure people understand that our story is rich. It has lots of layers, and it begins with the first day of Black History Month on February the 1st every year with National Freedom Day.
All right, so much rich and encouraging history. Ahmad, before you go, we want to show our viewers, as you mentioned, all of the events that are happening this weekend. So here it is on your screen right now, Historic Mitchellville Freedom Park celebrating Freedom Day, Saturday, February 3rd, 2024, happening at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., 40 Harriet Tubman Way. That's on Hilton Head Island. And okay, so some of the events that will take place, as Ahmad mentioned, there will be spoken word, and there will be a We Still Rise Freedom Day traditional breakfast as well. That's going to be hosted by your partner in this event, NIPCA and Gullah Celebration. So again, that breakfast, by the way, happens at 8 a.m. Saturday morning. We hope you'll consider participating. And Ahmad, I want to thank you and, of course, everyone at Historic Mitchellville Freedom Park. You know, I love being there and participating in all of the events. So best to you on a Saturday, and I know it's going to be an educational moment for everyone, but also one of somewhat of a moment for people just to come together and really fellowship.
Yeah, we want reflection to happen there. This is you know, we are proud of the fact that we have the most diverse programs, in my opinion, obviously, in that area. And it's a good kickoff of Black History Month.
All right, it certainly is. Ahmad Ward, thank you so much for being with us.